Good morning, Michael. What's up, YouTube? It's your boy John from Project Ellsworth, and I am back with you today to show you guys another section of my horror movie collection. Look, I know it's early, and I'm tired too. As always, let me start off by saying I hope everybody out there is doing well and staying safe. All right, let's get into it. Today we're doing row 4, section 1. And the first movie up is Life Force. I have never seen Life Force, and if I have seen Life Force, it's been many, many years. From the director of Poltergeist, that means Toby Hooper, and that means I ain't reading all that. That's a whole lot of writing. Don't want to read it. If you've never seen this mind-reeling Shocko sci-fi spectacular, then hang on to your brains. Great fun. All right. So, one of these days, maybe I'll hang on to my brains. Somebody sent me that. I don't remember who sent me that. Maybe Jeremy? Maybe Jeremy? Maniac Mondo, maybe? I don't remember. Maybe it was Jeremy. I don't want to... You know what I'm saying. All right, next up is the James Wan film, Lights Out. I really enjoyed this movie. I thought this was very, very good. A couple scenes in here were pretty creepy, and this movie scared the hell out of my son, which is always a bonus. Growing up, Rebecca never knew what lay behind the terror lurking in the dark. When she left home, she thought she'd also left her fear behind. Now her little brother Martin is experiencing the same unexplained and terrifying events that once tested her sanity. A supernatural entity with a connection to their mother's past is haunting them. Horrible mother. And as Rebecca gets closer to discovering the truth, her life and the lives of those around her are in danger once the lights go out. This was pretty cool. Pretty cool movie. I remember there being certain parts of this that were pretty atmospheric. Very cool. Good movie. All right, next up is something that I thoroughly enjoyed. The Lodge. I did a movie review of this, God, a year and a half ago. If I remember to do it, I'll put the link to that video down below. Scary as hell. The next generation of horror is here. I tend to agree. I thought this was very good. A bone-chilling nightmare from the director of Good Night Mommy. The Lodge, that was also a very friggin' fantastic movie. The Lodge follows a family who retreat to their remote winter cabin over the holidays. When the father is forced to abruptly depart for work, he leaves his children, Aiden and Mia, in the care of his new girlfriend, Grace. Bad idea. Isolated and alone, a blizzard traps them inside the lodge as terrifying events summon specters from Grace's dark past. Yeah, if you have not seen this, I thought this movie was fantastic. Really enjoyed it. I can't remember if this came out at the end of 2019? I think it was the end of 2019. Doesn't make a difference. Whenever it was released, who cares? The movie was really, really good. Check it out. My mind starts spinning and I go off the rails. Long Time Dead. I know I've never seen this, and this is one of those movies that I bought when the video store was going out of business. It terrified the living daylights out of me, said James Christopher from The Times. A thrilling, spine-tingling, nerve-shattering ride. Sounds like a lot of hype. I don't know, when I find movies that say all that kind of stuff, most of the time, it's a pretty big letdown. They put all that kind of crap on the back of these cases to get people's attention and make them buy it, which is usually not whatever. A group of college students at an all-night party dare each other to play a Ouija board. Is it Ouija? It's Ouija, right? It's not Ouija. It's Ouija. To play a Ouija board. But what starts out as fun rapidly turns into a nightmare when the glass spells out the message, all die, and a demon is awakened with an appetite for vengeance against those who summoned him. Yeah, that's always been weird to me. and it's true in all horror movies that summon spirits and summon ghosts. I would think that if you summoned something that was locked away, if you set it free, it would be happy. Never turns out that way. One by one, the students fall prey to a succession of disturbing murders. With time running out and the body count growing, the remaining friends realize that they can't trust anybody, not even each other. I bet I'd never watched that. Unless that pops up on like a randomizer or something. Lord only knows. Alright, next up. Clive Barker's Lord of Illusions. I have not watched this movie in a very significant amount of time, and there's definitely no way I'm reading that big-ass paragraph. It's creepy to the extreme. Yeah, I don't remember this movie, so I'm suspecting that I didn't really enjoy it. I don't know. I know I watched it when it first came out, and I don't know if I've ever watched it again, to be totally honest with you. I really don't remember this movie. But it's Clive Barker, so, I mean, it's got to have certain aspects about it. It probably looks amazing, if nothing else. Whatever. Next up, what is easily, in my humble opinion, the worst film ever made by Rob Zombie, unless you consider that El Super Beasto Trainwreck a movie. I don't, but if you do, whatever. I think this movie sucks. I think this is Rob Zombie's worst movie. I think that this movie is shot beautifully. The cinematography in this is fantastic. Nobody argues that Rob doesn't have like spectacular vision and a wonderful artsy side to him, because this thing really is absolutely gorgeous to look at certain points. But that's just this. I hated this movie. I hated all the naked old ladies. I hate the banter between the DJs when they're in the recording studio or the radio show, the radio studio, the broadcast booth. God, I just don't like it. I don't like Sherry Moon Zombie in this movie. Although you don't get all that giggling bullshit that you get with her most of the time. I just didn't care for her character in this movie. Ken Foray was even unlikable for me in this movie. I don't know. I just thought this movie was trash. I didn't care for this at all. It's about witches, and I don't think all witches need to be old and naked and dirty. I don't know. That's just me. Thought that movie sucked. Next up, Unrelenting, a vicious abrasive film, and that's stated by Ain't It Cold News, is The Lost. Jack Ketchum's The Lost. I don't know that I watched this either, but I remember seeing this cover and liking it, that's actually what made me buy it. I thought that looked cool. For some reason, it caught my eye. A must-see. Artwork actually does work. Cover work. A must-see. A slice of CNN pie that corkscrews down into hell. That is written by Tobe Hooper, the director of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Once upon a time, a boy named Ray Pie. Ray Pie? I don't know if you're going to be able to see that. Ray Pie. You guys can't come up with a better name than that? Ray Pie put crushed beer cans in his boots to make himself taller. But this is no fairy tale for suburban psychopath Ray and his friends. Small town life is a dead-end road of sex, drugs, liars, and losers. And what begins with a sudden act of senseless violence will climax in a mind-blowing frenzy of depravity. With all the worst still yet to come. Starring Michael Bowen, Dee Wallace, Ed Lauer, Megan Henning, Katie Cassidy, and Aaron Brown. They all co-star in this controversial shocker adapted from the infamous novel by Jack Ketchum and based on a true story that stunned America. This isn't about the West Memphis 3, is it? I don't know. Lord only knows. Maybe I'll read this one day. Read it. Dude, I'm out of it this morning. I don't know why I'm so tired. I don't know why my brain ain't firing right. But this reminded me, just reading that reminded me of the West Memphis 3. Maybe I will check this out at some time. I got to move on. Now I'm saying that Tobe Hooper didn't direct Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and I mentioned Kane Hodder at this point. I don't even know what the hell I'm talking about. Next up is Lost After Dark. This is one that I actually wanted to see And I think I started watching it and fell asleep. It's supposed to be like a throwback to 80s horror, and that's way too small. I'm not reading it. This was supposed to be pretty good. I've seen a few people on YouTube talk about this. I know I read an article about this in either Fangoria or Rue Morgue when it was first coming out. I believe I watched the trailer for this in Best Buy, and it looked pretty cool, but I just simply haven't watched it yet. I should pull that and watch it this week, but I probably won't. Next up, my wife's favorite horror film, The Lost Boys. At this point, I believe every horror fan out there has seen The Lost Boys. It's been around for about 130 years. It was like a star-studded cast back in the day. Great vampire movie. Thoroughly enjoyed it. Corey Haim was great in this movie. It's a shame what happened to that dude. Early Kiefer Sutherland. Kiefer, looking nice. Yeah, this is a great movie, man. It's definitely a classic. Check it out if you haven't. I bet you have. All right, the next two are, I can't say the same thing about these as I said about those. I believe I watched The Tribe, but I definitely have not watched The Thirst. It's the two Lost Boys sequels that I think only have Corey Feldman in them. I don't think anybody from the other movies came back. Angus Sutherland. All right, and the Frog Brothers are back. I don't know, maybe that other dude did come back in this one. I don't know. Who the hell cares? Yeah, that looks like him. Doesn't matter. I don't anticipate that I'm going to be watching those movies anytime soon. And as big of a fan as my wife is of the Lost Boys movies, she watched the second one and never had a desire to watch the third one. So that tells you something. All right. This one is something I definitely need to get into. I've seen a lot of people in the horror community talking about this movie over the last 3 to 6 months because it popped up in Dollar Tree, The Loved Ones. This is supposed to be really cool. A truly demented masterpiece. Phil from Phil's Creepy Videos really wanted to get his hands on this, and I've seen several other people make comments about this movie on my haul video when I bought this. I gotta check this thing out. Brutal, bloody, and black as hell. Hell hath no fury like a prom queen scorned. When Brent rejects Lola's invitation to the prom, he sets off a chain of events that leaves him the victim of her twisted revenge. Now he's the only guest at Lola's terrifying and demented prom, and must fight to survive what could be his final dance. Will Brent live through this nightmare of drills, nails, glitter, and syringes, or become one of Lola's loved ones? That does actually sound really good. Yeah. I looked at this, when I first glanced at this, I thought it was the chick who was the voice of Bride of Chucky. What the heck is her name? She plays poker. Can't remember her name. God, what is her name? Mimi? That doesn't matter. Can't remember. If I sit here and try and remember it, I'm not going to remember it. Next up is Lovely Molly. I bought this recently at the Dollar Tree. From the Masters of Horror who brought you the Blair Witch Project comes a terrifying new vision of evil that will redefine horror once again. A mysterious evil is waiting for Molly, who moves with her new husband into her late father's empty country house. Haunted by dark demons, she is soon left alone to confront a lurking presence inside the house, one that could drive her far beyond the edge of pure fear. Hailed as a guaranteed haunt for you, a guaranteed haunt, Lord Almighty, guaranteed to haunt you, Lovely Molly breaks new ground in raw, cutting-edge horror, delivering scares that slice to your very soul. Slice to your very soul. You will never want to turn off the lights again. Jesus. Stay out of country houses, man. Ash taught us that in Evil Dead a long time ago. Next up, Love Object. This is another one that I bought in that DVD going out of business sale. Kenneth was in love from the minute he took Nikki out of her box. Nice. Probably should have put her right back in it. Anatomically correct, complete with instructions and 100% lifelike silicone, she was exactly what he had ordered. What in the world did I order here? Or pick up here? With his newfound love, Kenneth's once desolate and lonely life took a turn for the better, and everyone noticed, including Lisa. But spending more time with Lisa meant spending less time with Nikki, and it wasn't long before Kenneth realized that Nikki was a doll with some evil intentions. That sounds interesting. Some people are just made for each other. A great little thriller with some genuinely creepy moments. That definitely sounds like this has got potential. I really should watch the movies I buy. It's unbelievable how many movies I own that I have not seen. It's disgusting. That's the downside of having a YouTube channel and running an eBay thing and being a husband and a father and having a job and all that stuff. You buy all this stuff and you got no time to watch the stuff. It's like you can't have it all. All right, next up, the Lullaby. I know I recently, within the last 6 or 8 months, bought this at Dollar Tree. You will wish you never brought your baby home. I think that's probably pretty common already with a lot of people in the world. Chloe is overwhelmed by the birth of her first child. She begins hearing voices, the humming of child lullaby, and sees flashes of a strange entity around her son. Convinced the entity is real, she will do anything in her power to protect him. This sounds just like about 1,000 other movies. Yeah, so not surprised that was $1. Next up is one I actually did see, Ma, with Octavia Spencer. This was cool. I did a review of this as well. Same thing. If I actually remember to do it, I'll put a link to the video down below. Should remember it. I edit these. This was cool. It's a bunch of high school kids that like to party, and they're not old enough to buy alcohol, so they get Ma to do it, and Ma kind of forces her way into being friends with her. Ma gives them a place to drink said alcohol. Ma goes and buys said alcohol. And Ma apparently wants friends. So this is actually pretty creepy too. Octavia Spencer is really, really, really good in this movie. She's definitely the star of the show here. Very good. Check it out. Everybody's welcome at Ma's, but good luck getting home safe. Yeah, this was good, man. I really like this a lot. I've watched that a couple times. Next up is Anthony Hopkins in Magic. This is one that I have seen. Burgess Meredith, too. Totally forgot about that. I have seen this movie, but I believe I was 12 maybe the last time, 13, something like that. I don't remember what year this came out, 1978. So I was 7 when it came out. I was little when I saw this movie. I really don't remember it. I do remember that doll being creepy as hell. I know Jason from Horrific Nightmares loves this movie. One of these days I got to break down and watch this thing again. I have to assume he's some sort of a ventriloquist. At least I hope he is. And that's his boy there. And I think that puppet starts giving him some problems. Starts giving a lot of people problems. Academy Award winner Anthony Hopkins is Quirky. Is Quirky? Okay, that's his name. How in the world would you name your child Quirky? Is Quirky a painfully shy, failed magician who finds an overnight success as a ventriloquist. His brash, foul-mouthed dummy, Fats, becomes a huge nightclub hit. With his star on the rise, talent agent Ben Green, which is Burgess Meredith, arranges an important shot at national TV, but the pressure of the failing network's Network's required physical sends Quirky into a panic. With Fats in tow, he flees the city to a nearby deserted resort in the Catskills run by the love of his youth, Peggy Ann Snow. Peg has spent years trapped in a loveless marriage with her high school sweetheart, Duke. In Quirky, she sees the chance for a loving relationship and accepts an offer to run away with him. After they make love, Quirky confides in Fats, there's a problem right there, confides in Fats that he may leave show business altogether. Fats becomes furious and lashes out at him. Playing on his guilt and insecurity, now under Fats' control, Quirky is manipulated into a series of violent and unexpected confrontations. I don't remember this movie at all clearly. So, dude finds a chick, gets laid, talks to a puppet, and the puppet, he gets bent out of shape, makes him start killing people. That's what it sounds like. I gotta watch that again. just to see what people's infatuation is, for nothing else. And Anthony Hopkins is in it. You can't go wrong with Anthony Hopkins. All right, finally, should have watched this in July during Shark Week. Malibu Shark Attack. I bet you this movie sucks, but it's a shark movie and I dig those. Even the bad ones most of the time. The bad ones, when they're bad, are actually kind of funny, even when they're not meant to be. When an underwater earthquake generates a tsunami that strikes Malibu, I pronounce tsunami correctly, but trip over Malibu. It brings with it a hunting pack of deep water prehistoric goblin sharks to the surface. Gotta watch this. Although the beach is evacuated before the big wave strikes, a group of lifeguards and a crew of construction workers are stranded in the high water to have to fight the sharks to get to dry land. Goblin shark, prehistoric goblin sharks. All right, I definitely need to watch this movie. The tsunami was just the beginning of terror, starring Peta Wilson, Warren Christie, Shalon Simmons, whatever, and Sonia Saloma. Yeah, I bet you this is awful. I need to see what a goblin shark looks like. All right, that was the last one for this section, and that was way too much reading, and this video is probably way too long. So, for those of you that are still here, thanks for sticking around. All right, I'm getting out of here. If you guys like this video, please give me a thumbs up. If you really like this video and you've been enjoying my content up to this point, please do me a huge personal favor. Click that subscribe button and ring that bell. Take care of yourself. Take care of each other. Have a kick-ass day. And thank you for watching. Later, folks.